to make a ring together, except plot twist, we're going to be ditching our original setup because today we're going to be working with fire. So if you've been following me for a long time, you may know that I've been talking about making sea glass rings probably since like 2021, 2022, and the day has finally come. So this is the stone we're going to be working with, and I'm going to start off with the bezel wire and wrapping it around the stone, and then eventually I'm going to cut it, file it, and solder the ends shut. But the reason these rings took me so long to make and release is because when I first started doing research a couple years ago, I was honestly so overwhelmed. There was very little information on the internet, and out of that little information, every single person was telling me to do something different. So I did a little research, took a break, picked it back up again, ended up ordering supplies and then soldering my first ring band. And then I kind of did the same thing with the sea glass ring. Did a little research, felt overwhelmed, took a break, picked it back up again, ordered supplies, and then practiced making rings. And let me just say, making a ring with a bezel setting, 10 times harder than making a simple ring band. Anyways, let's go back to the ring for a moment. Right now I'm just cutting out the back plate, which in case you didn't know is the most expensive part of the ring. And I just cut it out, add our logo and a 925 stamp, and this is pretty much just going to be soldered to the bezel that we made earlier. Anyways, back to my little rant. Overall, the researching and the learning how to make the rings, very overwhelming. And it was also extremely discouraging at so many points. I had many moments where I was thinking maybe this just isn't for me, which is such a crazy thing for me to say because my whole entire life I've always been such a determined person and just truly believed I could accomplish anything that I put my mind to. And like obviously if it's getting bad for my mental health, like I'll draw a line, but this was more of like a learning curve type of thing. Like I know it's gonna get easier as time goes on, but anyways, this is what the bezel cup looks like so far. I'm just gonna take my Dremel tool and blend the back plate into the bezel wire. You'll see what it looks like in a second. And after this, we're going to cut wire to make the ring band. And if I'm remembering correctly, I think I made this ring in a 7.5. And as you can see, my wire cutters did break here, which is so crazy because I just bought these probably not even 2 months ago. But it's fine. I ended up ordering a new pair and got to work the next day. So I'm just gonna bend the ends so they're put together very flush. That way when it's time to solder it, the solder will flow perfectly. Anyways, here's a little bit of information about launch day. So these rings, along with a few others, are going to be launching on June 30th, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. And there's not only going to be sterling silver rings, but there's also going to be gold-filled rings, which I know you guys have been asking for gold rings for literally ever, so I'm so excited to release those. But also, I wanted to mention that the stock for these rings is going to be extremely limited, so be sure to get there on time, especially if you want gold rings, because it's going to be even more limited for those. And then one last thing, since these rings are going to be a bit pricier than the ones I have available on my shop currently, each person will also get upgraded packaging, which is going to include an upgraded velvet drawstring bag to store your jewelry in, a polishing cloth, a free crystal, and a free waterproof logo sticker. Anyways, here's how the ring turned out.